Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
This is our Survivor 49 episode 11 reaction and review. Both things can be true, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, I found this episode very, very entertaining.
Yes.
Number two, I am very mad at some of the people who are currently playing the game.
Oh boy, Sage. There's definitely been some choices made in your game this season. I don't understand all of them, but at the same time, she is by herself right now, and I don't know how many good choices she actually had.
There's this expression that if you're planning revenge, you need to dig 2 graves. Sage needed to dig millions of graves. Her grave, Sophie, Yellow Sophie's grave, and then all of us watching who wanted to see an element of unpredictability. I have tried to be one of your strongest soldiers over these past several weeks, Sage, and it's just like, what are you doing?
My dad still loves her. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well,
she can do no wrong.
Congratulations, Sage. You have Jess's dad who is actively still supporting you,
Yes.
whereas I am sitting here and thinking, okay, sure. You can argue, oh, I'm just trying to play a Sandra, it's anybody but me game, and that's great. Good for you. Here's your round of applause. But at the same time, you are going after Yellow Sophie when you actively have Savannah, who has been an opponent of yours the entire game, still there with her number one, Rizo, who also, by the way, has an immunity idol.
Still amazing. Rizzo's game, incredible.
And here we are once again pointing out an episode of Survivor where, yes, we should praise Rizo. We should praise Savannah, who did some really good things, but also ridicule some other people who are just making decisions that don't feel like they're in their best interest if they want to actually win.
Yes.
Okay, well, before we get into anything more here, and yeah, we have a lot to get into, we are having a very, very good day. And by we, we're also including Coco Vanderwolf here, because we just hit this morning 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is crazy and it is blowing our minds.
It is incredible. When we started this journey like 7 years ago, we didn't know what to expect. We just wanted to find other people that watch the same shows as us that we could talk to, because we don't have other people in our lives besides each other that were like, oh, we want to talk about Survivor, Big Brother, or whatever it is here with everybody. So we were like, oh, you know what? We're just going to start our own channels, see how that goes. And to get to 100,000 subscribers, it is astounding to us. So thank you so much to everyone who helped us reach this incredible milestone. It really has just blown us away.
It's so unbelievably surreal. Like, there have been multiple times today,
Yes.
I'll look at the number and I'll just be like, that can't be real, right? You know, we're just like two TV nerds here who just like coming on and having a good time chatting with you guys. But we appreciate that so much. And if you are new, you hit that subscribe button and help to join our big, fantastic TV party here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, Sage, you had to be a little bit of a party pooper here. Like, seriously. I'm gonna try to defend what Sage did. I'm gonna show what her thought process might be. I don't agree with it, but this is her thought process. I think she's probably feeling like, all right, it seems like there are some people who want Yellow Sophie out of the game.
Yes.
I can do this. Now, Steven obviously is a big target. People have been talking about getting him out for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe he will be one of the next people to go. Savannah, a lot of people, myself included, have wanted Savannah out of the game. So we'll also be able to get rid of her. This is a big if because Rizzo still has that idol. I'm wondering, is she just actively thinking, all right, there's a couple more big targets lined up here ahead of me. I can get closer to the finale, then maybe just a couple of things bounce my way and I get into the final 3?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Yellow Sophie is definitely a threat in this game.
Yes.
She's, winning a lot of challenges. She's gotten pretty far. She's the fourth on this 4-person alliance or whatever, but she's with a very strong alliance that has like a pile of advantages. So, I mean, it's not a bad choice, but at the same time, I'm kind of looking at where Sage is now that she's lost Jawan, and where could she go? Who could adopt her? And the answer is kind of nobody. Nobody really wants to bring her in to be like, okay, you're going to be my number one, or now you're going to be, part of our 3 or 4 or whatever. And I think part of it is because Sage did put all of her eggs in the Jawan basket. They were so close, and it's
Yes.
very easy to let that happen on any reality show. You're in a enclosed place, you don't have a lot of people to talk to, and you get really close with people and you bond with people. So I understand, but it's like this late in the game, you put all your eggs in one basket, that basket is gone, and now you're kind of like free agent. It's like you're at the finish line. It's fine. There is nowhere for her to really go.
And there are so many different problems with that idea. You don't build trust, you don't have bonds with a lot of other people. And we've seen that she has some trouble in social situations. But if that is the case, because I'm not going to sit here and be like, here we go, this mass super social man walking down the street, because I'm really socially awkward. I have to remember, if I'm playing the game at this point, I have to throw some of this out the window, and I need to just be opportunistic. And early on in this episode, Sophie, Blue Sophie, extends a little bit of an olive branch to Sage and does point out to her, all right, you know what? This might be a time to make a move on Savannah. Now, should she trust Blue Sophie completely? No, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, how dare you, Sage, not trust this person when you have not a lot of reasons to? At the same time, this is someone who's going to you about targeting one of her own supposed close allies. I think you gotta take the chance here.
No, I wouldn't have taken it either. The minute that Sage was kind of like, why would I trust this? Those three, and we all know what Sophie with an eye has been telling us in her confessionals. Oh, at some point, yeah, I got to turn on them. Okay, is that time now? Maybe, I guess. I'll kind of test the waters. But throughout all of this journey, everyone has seen those three together, thick as thieves. No way that is breaking apart. And when you're on the inside and you're on the outside, they're not getting Blue Sophie's confessionals of like, yeah, at some point, yeah, I am going to turn on them. If I was Sage, I wouldn't believe any three of them. If Rizo came to me, or Sophie with an eye, or Savannah, none of them. If any of them tried to come and sell me this, I'd be like, okay, you guys are definitely selling me a lie at this point. None of you are turning on each other. And even if you are, you guys have been so close that I can't trust any of you of what you're actually saying is true. You need to do something to earn my trust at that point. Your words don't mean anything. I wouldn't have trusted them at all.
All right, well, let's say that is the case then. All right, I'm not going to trust Blue Sophie. I don't know her well enough. I haven't played with her long enough. Go to the other people outside of this alliance then, and just gather up the numbers that way. Try to get Yellow Sophie back on your side. Try to do something else, because you have to play to win the game, or at least I would like to think so. If I'm playing Survivor, I'm not putting myself through all of this suffering and having to listen to Probes do these weird reward chants and all this other nonsense just so I can finish in 8th, 7th place. And it feels like Sage, and this is true for a lot of people this season, they just seem to want to be there as long as possible. They're not necessarily thinking about, all right, I need to make some moves here that will help me win, because yeah, I know Yellow Sophie is a little bit of a challenge threat, but it seems like Savannah's been someone they're all really worried about. There was something said in this episode that blew my mind, that they're more worried about Savannah than they are Rizo. And Rizo has done tribal council theater for weeks. Rizo, to me, is the biggest threat by far.
He's been sitting on an idol for weeks.
Yes.
He has been in danger for weeks and has felt brave enough to not use it because his social game is so good and he's able to convince people of things that they should not be convinced of. I don't know why everyone is really focusing in on Savannah the way that they are, that they think that she's this huge threat. Sage has been like the Terminator with her all season, that oh, she's a mean girl. She's a this. She's got to go. And I'm just like, I just don't see any of it. She's not a mean girl. She's won a couple of immunities. So, yeah, that's definitely something. But she hasn't really been the person like Rizzo has been, who is up there faking out an idol at that point, kind of making people look like a clown. And everyone's just like, bravo, what a great move. It's like, okay, if you think that's a great move, get him out. You can't beat him then.
It's so bizarre that Sage has gone from the Terminator. In this episode, she's all of a sudden just a different kind of robot being
Yep.
like, does not compute. And she's just like, her programming has been switched. She is now all about vengeance towards this other person who, yeah, did get rid of her number one ally in the game. But this is one tribal council versus the entirety of a season.
There's only a few people there that feel like they're really, really playing to win. And
Yes.
that is Blue Sophie and Rizzo, Steven, and somewhat Savannah. I think Savannah wants to win,
Mhm.
but she hasn't been really playing in a way that the others have been, where they straight said, this is what I want to win, this is what I'm looking for, and these are the moves that I'm doing. You've got Blue Sophie sitting on an advantage she hasn't told anyone about. Right time, right place, I'm gonna turn on them. You've got Rizzo's been sitting on an idol this whole time. I'm gonna play this fake one, I'm gonna do it for this reason, try to flush out Christina's idol, all these other things. You got Steven over here, who is completely the dark horse of them all. Everyone's like, oh man, yeah, I'm too run down to go and get an advantage. Him being like, you know what, I'll take that advantage, no problem. Send me to the island, I will run the whole island, no problem, to be able to stay, because I want that money. It was really shocking, actually, when that boat came up, the amount of people that were like, I'm good. I was like, oh, you're good? What are you talking about? I know that everybody hasn't been eating and they're trying to like save their energy, but like, are you really that good? This close to the money?
Well, you mentioned a handful of people there, and I do think that there is certain things we should be looking at with some of them. The whole Steven thing, with him being willing to go on this journey and nobody else, is completely baffling. It's insane to me.
Shocking.
I understand, and I'm sure a little bit of this is tied to really what has been the problem with a lot of players for a little bit now. There is such prevalent fear among these people out here on the beach right now. Like, we're covering It Welcome to Derry. It feels like a lot of them are being visited by Pennywise in the middle of the night, who is telling them, you can't make a move, it will ruin your game. And
Yeah.
it's, I understand going on a journey to put a target on your back, but you're willingly letting someone in Steven, who seems like he is the biggest target out of anyone left at this
Yes.
point, just go, wander off, get an advantage, work really hard. Like, I was really impressed
Me too.
at his determination. I'm not a big challenge guy, but watching him do all this, I felt legitimately inspired. I felt for a split second, maybe I can do this too, though in reality, probably not. I would drown or fall in the ocean. But I was just so thrilled watching him, but also still sitting there and been like, none of these other people, they're not stopping him?
Yeah, it's really shocking that they want Steven out, but they're going to allow him to go and to get an advantage. And I know, of course, they're like, you got Rizzo being like, you know what? I feel like, I know where this idol is, and Christina had this one, and whatever. So I'm a fan of the show, so there's only so many advantages it's going to end up being. I know Savannah had this extra boat and this
Yeah.
and that, whatever. So I know what he's going to end up getting. And while he didn't know exactly what he was getting, he was kind of warm on it.
I loved that entire sequence with Rizzo and Steven.
It's so
But
good.
we had good old-fashioned Survivor chess happening
Yeah.
here, where I think Rizzo is a great player. Not even a good
Yeah.
player, but a great player.
Yeah.
But great players can still have misreads. He wasn't that far off, but like Steven
But
said,
he wasn't right.
yeah, it's good that Rizzo thinks this, because this gives him a little bit more maneuverability, because, Rizzo has been able to operate knowing that people are afraid of his idol, and now people are afraid of whatever Steven may have, and he can sit back and be like, I can try to use this to my advantage. Yeah, he's still going to have a rough road to try to get to the end and win, because
Yeah.
everybody is targeting him, but he can try to use this advantage right. He can win some immunities, and I think he's gonna have a lot of friends if he gets to the end of this game.
People really like him. People love an underdog. He
Yes.
does have this advantage. And as the numbers are dwindling, this advantage really becomes more and more and more of an advantage to be able to block somebody's vote
Yeah.
when there's only so many votes. This is a really big advantage, and it only continues to grow in power as it goes on.
All right, so you also mentioned Blue Sophie in there. So let's discuss. Did she actually make the right move here? Because while I was watching, I went kind of back and forth in my head about it and thinking, all right, there are people who want to get rid of Savannah. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's flipping. Yeah, there's a real risk in doing this that she's not going to have any allies. But at the same time, you want to have something to put on your resume. And if you just coast to the final three with Savannah and Rizzo, you're not winning. I don't even think
No.
you get a single vote if you're in the final three with those two.
No, and I think she knows that she does have to turn on them at some point. And the winning move for her is turning on them at the right point, using that advantage to snatch Rizzo's idol
Yeah.
and get him out. If she does that, she wins the game.
That's not something we've talked about anywhere near enough here at the channel, is that idea that, all right, Blue Sophie stands up at tribal council, says, Rizzo, do you have an idol? Yep. Takes it in front of the jury and then uses it to her advantage. Like,
Yeah.
I actually wonder, how much was Blue Sophie thinking about this already? How much is she planning ahead to try to make that happen? Because that is guaranteed one of the few moves that you can make in this game that will make you from a pretender to a contender within the
Yeah.
span of 5 minutes. I don't know if there's a lot of other things you can do in Survivor that are that big, that drastic, that will have the jury reconsidering like your entire game.
Yeah, it's one thing for Rizzo to get up there with a fake idol that turns into a big nothing burger, and another thing for her to do something like that. That is a game winning move. Now, do I think she's capable of it? Yeah, I do. I think the fact that she has held on to this secret from her alliance of three, where they have shared pretty
Yeah.
much everything with her, and she has shared enough to make them feel that she's loyal, and she is loyal and has been loyal until it's going to be time for her to not be loyal. And it's really going to come down to timing on it, because if she pulls the trigger way too early on that and she does not have the numbers to bounce back and she does not hit her shot, it is just going to completely ruin her whole game. The numbers got to be a lot smaller than this.
Because she has that advantage, I'm willing to give Blue Sophie the benefit of the doubt in a way that I am not willing to give Sage the benefit of the doubt, because it just feels like she wanted to show Jawan she got justice for him. She's over here celebrating while the votes are being read. I'm a huge basketball fan. It's like that meme of Chris Paul hitting the three to narrow down the lead to 42 points. You're still losing, Sage. You can't celebrate when you've done something that has not actually helped you long term.
Yeah, and the problem with Sage is just she's in a losing battle. There's no way that Sage wins this game. I'm sorry.
All right, the last thing here is that Christina and the strong dislike for Savannah thing that happened at Tribal Council. This is really weird. I can't really remember a lot of seasons where it's just sort of casually dropped. Hey, I don't like this person. I think we have personality issues, and Savannah's over here trying to smooth it over, and Christina's not really having that. I don't understand what Christina's doing, because you may need Savannah at some point. It's unlikely, but going in front of the jury and saying something like this, you're kind of drawing a line in the sand you don't need to draw.
I'm just like, I'm not really understanding, and probably some of it's the edit, and I'm not on the island with Savannah. Like, why is Christina having such a problem with her? Why is Sage having such a problem with her? Other people like Sophie are not. I don't really understand what's happening. If it's just like a jealousy thing that she's doing great, she's part of a really good alliance. Like, I don't really understand. Is there more with this edit that's going on that we just aren't seeing?
It has to be. I just
I
feel
don't understand.
I just feel like there has to be a reason why Christina's going and willing to do this and say something that's not beneficial to her game. And yeah, I get it that it feels like Savannah can be pretty aggressive game wise. We saw this with the whole idol hunt earlier this season, that yeah, she's really competitive, but I kind of admire that. I want people to go on the show and
Yeah.
want to do everything to win.
She's competitive, but she doesn't come across to me, anyways, at least through this edit, that she's like a mean person or she's treating anyone like trash or like she's. We've seen that on this show where
Yes.
people do that, and she hasn't been doing any of that. So I'm not sure if this is maybe just a personality clash
Yeah.
or Christina's reading something a different way. It's coming across to her in a bad way, or Savannah's doing something and we're just not seeing it. It feels like the whole story's not here.
No.
It was kind of weird and felt like it just came out of left field. So there feels like there's some background here that isn't being shared on the show.
No, and that's really the tale of this whole season, where it feels like people like Christina and Steven and Yellow Sophie, they never really got the screen time, and so I don't
Yeah.
think we fully ever got their point of view.
Yeah.
But that is where we are with Survivor 49, episode 11. We will wait and see who we get mad at next week. But let us know, what did you think of this episode? What do you think of Sage's move? Share in the comments. And of course, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so
Thank
much for
you.
helping us get to 100,000. Like, we appreciate that more than we can say. And we'll see you here next time.